Welcome back to the Shine Within podcast. Suzan Peltekian is a global speaker, elite mindset and peak performance coach, and the founder of SuperchaRge with Suzan. After retiring from successful career in real estate, she followed her divine calling to help individuals reprogram their minds and manifest lives by design. Known for her magnetic energy and transformational coaching style, Suzan empowers others to rise their consciousness, break through limitations, and fully step into their highest potential. Her mission? To touch, move, and inspire billions, one brilliant soul at a time. Yes, and I thank you for being you. I feel like
Of
I could
course.
have hit record from the moment we started chit-chatting because I don't know. I feel already connected with you energetically. I already sense you as you are a beautiful soul and doing incredible things in this world to spread the message that we can supercharge ourselves and life is limitless. We are limitless beings and we can do anything we put our mind to. So thank you.
My joy. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. And yes, energetically, I felt you even from the emails for months back and forth. And thank you so much for having me, Gina. You are a ray of sunshine and right back at you. Ditto.
Oh, thank you. Well,
You're
Susan,
welcome.
you describe yourself as a super passionate lover of transformation and humanity. Can you
Hmm.
just go ahead and take us back to the moment where you realized your mission was to help raise the consciousness of us humans here on the
Yes.
planet?
So if I were honest, I'll keep it very short because none of what I do is about me. It's about our one planet. It's from, I don't remember the time I've been asked a question similar, Gina, not this specific one. I don't remember, but all I remember from childhood, I didn't know, of course, about consciousness and raising consciousness. All I knew is my deep love for humanity and that I wanted to rah-rah the world stages, become a motivational speaker and make a difference and create people's lives by design in the way I understood it as a child. But like many, I didn't believe in myself because of my own paradigms and self-image and self-concept. And ironically, no irony, as you know, the universe is perfect. I get to teach all of this and universal laws. And I'm humbled and privileged because, as you said, life is limitless. You are limitless. And that is that is basically it. And so fast forward many, many years, multiple different careers, businesses later, it was one decision I made right before COVID that that's it. I'm done. I'm retiring from real estate. That was the last career I was in. And the number one Remax real estate company, which is an American company, but the franchise is a Canadian one, happened to be in Toronto in my backyard. And they filled up all of my coaching spots during COVID. And here we are 5.5 years later. This is literally my divine purpose and childhood dream. And it's a privilege to serve our human race. So thank you for having me again.
Oh, yes. And I noticed in 2020, that was a time where the world stood still, right? Everywhere. And we
Really?
did a lot of self-reflection. And I think a lot of people, and I often say this on my podcast, really did some deep diving, inner diving, inner self-diving, and
Yes.
wanted to discover, like, okay, I'm sure I'm good at something else here. I know there's a little bit more than just my, 9 to 5 job,
Yes.
quote, air quotes,
Thank you.
job.
Thank you. I
What
heard
are
it.
our
Thank you.
passions? Yeah, what are our passions? Did you know that I never loved cooking before in my life? I just made top ramen and I made mac and cheese, and it wasn't a passion of mine. Let me tell you, 2020 gave me an opportunity to learn how to cook. I got married in 2020, but February,
Oh,
right before COVID,
congrats.
right? Right before
Right
COVID.
before.
February, right? So we're like, oh, thank goodness we don't have to cancel anything. And my husband is Indian, and the only food he liked at that time was Indian food. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh, I have to go ahead and learn how to make Indian food. So that's what I did. I learned how to cook, and I discovered I am actually pretty freaking good at this. And to this day, I enjoy cooking. It's one of my passions. It's something that helps me center myself whenever I'm kind of uptight. And it's like, I don't know, something soothing about chopping vegetables and cooking and then having your family eat and see the joy on their faces. They're like, wow, this is good. So I feel like I've discovered my passions then. Did you discover more passions? I mean, I know you did coaching, but is there anything else that you discovered about yourself during that time?
I love your story. You're so contagious. And no, and I love Indian food. You just made my mouth
Oh,
water there. And I love every kind of food and I love Indian food as well. No, and I don't cook, by the way. And it is, and I see, I'm now discovering, not during COVID, now that, well, becoming more and more in my divine feminine, that, hey, I rejected that. That's why I didn't want to cook, which is, this has never come up on a podcast. I love that you brought it up. Absolutely. And I do believe I can see what you, for me, it was not all consuming in a bad way, in a great way that I didn't know it. Like I literally made one decision, and everyone listening in, Gina, we're one thought away, and you know this. We speak the exact same language, energetic language. Wink, wink is everyone is one thought away from a completely different life, one decision away. It was like I didn't know about all these universal laws the way I know them now. Like now I know them. It's beyond faith, right? And I made one decision. I'm like, that's it. I'm retired. It's not like I put my gazillions aside, and then I said, and it was like jumping head first, and it's been the best decision of my life. And that took a lot because then I was supporting everyone during COVID. I was the gal, and it's been such a fantastic journey. I'm so grateful for it because the goal is never about getting, as you know, it's about becoming, and it allowed me to step further into the compassionate human, the compassionate coach, the compassionate, leader who can actually guide these soul-centered entrepreneurs into their lives of freedom. I love how you touched earlier on stuff about how we're programmed, and I do think life isn't just other than just job. You said like it's not even if you have the most fulfilling job or entrepreneur like business, it's not about work and 2 weeks of vacation, gym, and we die. Like there's so much more, and I'm waking up to that more and more every day. The more I teach it, the more I embody it, if that answers.
yes. And I
Yeah.
love how you use the phrase supercharge. What does it mean to supercharge your life? And how did this phrase come inside your mission?
Oh, oh, I like, thank you. I see you as super passionate, and I'm getting goosebumps as I say that. My name is Susan, and you pronounce it uh, properly. A lot of people think it's Suzanne because it's written with a Z, and it's Susan. My parents just wrote it wrong. And the Z is so perfect for me because I'm all about zest and passion and living full out and creating our lives by design and not living through the lies and the programming and all the viruses that they're teaching us. So supercharge is the complete opposite of that, is, get present to the essence that is you, which is magical beyond words and measure. You were born in the perfect vibration. You have royal blood coursing through you. And it never gets old. I get goosebumps every time I share it, even if it's 12 times a day or a year or a week, as I shared with you this week on the podcast. And that you are literally number one of one. It took 1 in 400 trillion for you to be here. Well, what kind of life do you want to live? Most are living a version of Groundhog Day, repeating their past because of their traumas. I say that with all due love and compassion. And to create it by design is to supercharge it. And in all areas, we can literally have it all. I had the limiting belief that we can have one thing and not the other. And that's one of the biggest lies we were taught.
It's so true. It is so true. And I even mentioned to you that when I first became sober, I sought out a mindset coach.
Yeah.
And I felt like the mind is really what needed to reprogram in order for me to start believing in myself again,
Yes.
or actually believing in myself for the first time. I don't think
Yes.
I've ever believed in myself, or I don't think I've ever trusted myself. And I didn't like myself. I actually hated myself.
Oh,
Can you,
mirror.
yeah, right? It's
Thank
like,
you.
oh,
In
not
the past,
anymore.
for
In the
both of us.
not
Yes, yes.
anymore.
Sorry, I don't want to. Yes, yes. We mirror
I
others'
love
great stuff. Yeah.
myself now, but not
Yes.
like all
Oh,
arrogant and conceited, but like
yes.
like compassionate and self-loving and just
Yes.
putting me first because, well, oh, I love
Yes. Well, you radiate it.
that.
I
Oh,
see. I
I
see.
love
Yeah.
that. I
Same.
need to learn how to do that.
Oh,
But can you go ahead and explain how the mindset actually plays a role in reshaping our lives from the inside out?
what a great question. And big congrats to you. I said it off camera. What I didn't share on camera is last week I was on a podcast with a young man who has gone through the 12 steps. And this isn't to diminish it, by the way. I think it's great. It's served its millions. But the number one thing it talks about, and I've been for other stuff once to a meeting, not for drinking. And although I did share with you that I've stopped drinking as well, and it's one of the best decisions. Yes, thank you. Is big congrats to you, Gina. Is identity is everything. We've heard it said before as self concept or as self image or concept, right? Self concept. So this individual was saying, well, I'm struggling, although I'm in AA, but how do I get out of it? I said, you already created the struggle. We're co-creators. If we can really understand that, Gina, everyone, I believe, is God's highest form of creation. So when I use the word God, whoever's listening in, precious listeners, please don't be stopped by the word. I use it interchangeably with universe, source energy, infinite intelligence, co-creator, right? And we are co-creators. So, and our language creates as well as, of course, our energy, our emotions. And so if you keep saying, well, I am an alcoholic, and you're repeating that, well, that is now ingraining into your neural pathways further and deepening that belief about yourself. Because what are beliefs? In the word belief, there's the word LIE. I think there are some great lies we can tell ourselves that can become the truth. And then there's our lies that they keep telling us that are lies that we shouldn't believe in because they're programming us. They're viruses, right? So thoughts repeated day in, day out become our beliefs. And the mind is so powerful, it is literally limitless, all of which is backed up, by the way, everything I teach by neuroscience and quantum physics, that anything the mind can conceive, it can actually achieve. So if we can hold the image in our mind, we can actually hold whatever we want in our hands, whether it be a baby, like, which is giving life. If we can give life to a baby, imagine we can give life to everything else. And quite frankly, we are giving life. We are constantly and consistently manifesting, but most unfortunately, Gina, are manifesting by default instead of by design. And my work is to have it done by design. So going back to answer your question further, it's all about our identity. The bad news is, well, the good news is anytime I share bad news, I have exceptional news. The bad news is we can never outperform our self-image, which most have a very poor one. You said that about you. I had the worst one. I didn't even know it. I was just sharing on the podcast earlier. I was literally like fish in water. Outwardly, I looked exactly the same. I seemed very confident. I seemed like I had the best attitude. I seemed very positive. I wasn't confident. I had the worst self image. I didn't dislike myself. I'm getting goosebumps. I loathed myself. And thank God for the precious souls who came onto my path to actually show me that I did, because I didn't even know it was like fish in water, didn't even know it was in water. And we're vibrational beings. We attract whatever we're in vibrational frequency with. So I attracted people, places, and circumstances that showed me that I thought that I'm a piece of shit. Meanwhile, that's not what I thought. I looked positive, but inside I'd be like, oh, what's she talking about? Or what's she saying? Or why is he like that? Rolling my eyes. It was really toxic positivity. It wasn't true, genuine, and authentic power and positivity. And it wasn't until I did the mindset work living. Most of the time, my work is not only to teach, but to embody, which you embody so beautifully, Gina. I said it off and I want to say it on the record, right? Is living from the inside out. And that we get to literally, we've heard it said before that you're the driver of your own, you're the captain of your own, but you literally are the co-author, and really believe that. And so many believe it consciously, like I did. I thought I was great, but I loathe myself. Well, what kind of contradiction is that? And to understand the power of our subconscious mind, that 95 to 98% of our results are coming from there, right? So if I keep repeating, my name is Suzan and I am whatever, we literally become that individual. And the power of the mind is like, no, I am Gina and I can be whoever I want to be. First and foremost, I am pure liquid divine love. And love, by the way, doesn't really need any adjectives. I just like to add them because I love superlatives as well, right? And adding extra adjectives, but it's, you are love. What does love do? It's not just a word. it serves. And our job, quite frankly, we must be humbled and pinch ourselves. We get to serve our mankind, and we can only serve them if we serve from our saucer, not from our own mug, because we can't pour from an empty cup. And so how can I give you love if I got none for self? I can't. It will be inauthentic.
Oh my
So this is
gosh,
so fun. Yeah.
yes. There's so
Go
many things I
on.
can like jump from. I'm
Please.
like, yes, 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 yes. Well, first off, yes, about the 12 step in AA, I went there and I had stopped drinking already, right? I didn't like going there and saying, I'm an alcoholic. I am powerless. I didn't want to say those words, and that's what turned me off from that. I mean, if it works for some people, keep going. If
Yes.
that's helping you stay sober, please keep going and good for you. Like seriously. But for me, no, it just I didn't my soul was like no, you are powerful. You,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yes.
Like no.
Yes.
So I get that,
Oh,
and it's so true. And I like going back to mindset. Like I had so many mindset blocks back then until like I said I had my mindset coach and I was practicing. And it's funny that you bring up like certain affirmations. I still listen to my own affirmations with my own voice that have a recording for like clients, and individuals, whoever wants it. And it's like a
oh.
13-minute affirmation, but I listen to myself.
Good,
This is me
good.
talking.
I love it. They say that's one of the most powerful things. But I'm so grateful to hear about your power that you knew it. You knew that this wasn't for you. And again, I don't want to put it down. I'm not that familiar. I've been, as I mentioned, to a session or two even, and it wasn't for me either. But there is, if it works, good for them. And the concept doesn't work because in the law of attraction, which is really life, like attracts like, and we're all magnets, we're magnetizing to us. And if we're deepening the neural pathways further physically to say, well, I am this, well, you literally become this now. It's a fight not to become. Now I'm powerless. Well, no, you're not. You are beyond powerful, and all of the power is within you. So I'm so grateful to hear this. Thank you, Gina.
Yeah, and going back to mindset blocks, what do you think are those blocks that keep people from stepping into their fullest potential? And can you just share how you actually help people break through it?
Yes, 100%. You actually gave away one of them. I love how you were talking to yourself. I always recommend an app, and I'll do that. And I'm not an affiliate, and I should be. And you may actually have that or another one. You'll tell me. Um, I Whatever their limiting beliefs are, the fastest way for them to find out. I didn't like this when one of my mentors. He was in the movie The Secret. You may know him. He passed away physically. Bob Proctor.
Yes.
He right whenever you'd say, I know about what you're thinking about just by looking at your results. I'm like, oh, that's so annoying. No, it's not annoying. It's like, that's the quickest hack. Look at the results in your life. You have a juicy marriage. Wow, that means you have juicy thoughts about your marriage. You have juicy thoughts about yourself. Wow, like you'll know from how you're eating, how you're shining, you're talking about yourself, how you love yourself. And no, it's not in a narcissistic way. We get it, right? Which is fantastic. And it's funny, right? Because first Bob would say, go in the mirror and yourself. And I'm like, what is this guy teaching? And then it's like, I can't believe now I'm that person who doubted him. It's like, thank you, right? I heard you, right? And we must have self-love. I think that's the fastest way to manifest as well. And to love our human race, our one human race, our mankind. And so the way is to look at your results. If they're working in a top tier way, that means your results are like your thoughts are in alignment. If they're that means there needs to be some tweaking to look at it. And if they're not, obviously, like you're struggling in an area, that would be something to look at, because that would be really deeply ingrained in the lie of the self-image that they gave us. The good news is, although we can never outperform it, we can create a new one, right? So I think the depth below all of whatever we may have limiting beliefs wise, the three major ones that most of us have until we do the healing work is I'm not worthy, I don't deserve, and I'm not enough. Those are the main ones. And then it comes from there that, hey, I'm not lovable. Then it shows up in marriage or in divorce or in addiction or with worth, right? Like someone would have been sexually abused, and then that's it. They deem themselves to be unlovable or unworthy, right? And I talk about a big T and small t, not to diminish small t. We've all had a bunch of small t's. Big T would be something like sexual abuse that could affect someone for life unless they do the deep healing work. But there are so many small t's, Gina, that I have dealt with that were diminished, that were said, oh, it's nothing. Like children are dying in war. Like, let's not talk about this type of thing. And well, it remains because it's not the 30, 40, 50, 100-year-old version of us that's dealing with that trauma. It's the 5-year-old within us. And we keep strangling her and him more and more every day by not giving it a voice. So I would say to look at whatever area is not working, that's the limiting belief we have about, and any belief that is other than that you are literally it. You're number one of one. You are David. You're Michelangelo's David. Furthermore, you're Michelangelo. And when we say about, we're seeing a lot on social media these days, becoming her, becoming him, you already are her and him with a capital H. It's having the awareness, bless you, too, that you are it. And all of it isn't becoming someone new with the self-image. That's stepping into our true authentic selves by removing the lies, like what Michelangelo did with David, chipping away at all the layers of the viruses and the programming and the lies that they programmed us with, that they continue to program us with 24/7. So cool.
Yes. Oh my, I love that. And I was just having a discussion with my husband. I think it was just last night because I was just like, oh, I'm just so frustrated. He's like, why? I just wish everyone knew who they truly are. He's like, when you're saying they, who are you talking about? Is it anybody in specific? I said, just your average people that are at the grocery store, at the malls, anywhere. You just go look outside. They're in the drive-through at Taco Bell right over here.
Yes.
It's just like I just wish they knew. And that's why we do what we do. We have
Yes.
podcasts, we have
Yes.
guests that come on and spread the message and the love, and we have coaching programs. And I'm believing we're in a shift right now with the 3D to 5D, or whether you want to call it New Earth as well.
Yes.
It's just that the Earth's frequency is changing. And so the more awareness we give to the humans here on Earth, then I think
Yes.
it's just going to get better and better. But it is baby steps, and it's a process, but it's okay. I'm not going to give up. I'm here on a mission. My soul's here on a
Yes.
mission. Your soul's here on a mission. A lot of our souls
Oh.
are here on a mission, and I'm not stopping.
No, you can't stop,
I'm
girl. You're
not
just on
stopping.
fire and you're such a beauty inside and out. And
Oh, thank you.
bless you for that. And no, that's fantastic. I love that. Bob would always say, unless we stay in the frustration, which I know you wouldn't, that shows your loving compassion from my end. And what he says is frustration is a creative state. You're creating more and more beauty in the world. And our world needs you, Gina, and it needs your beautiful awareness and your consciousness, and for you to spread the love and shine within and without as you have been. So thank you for that. That's, you're such a precious soul that touches me. And I feel the same way. It's like, it's life is really, I I say this a lot. Like it really takes something to be a human being. It's quite hard, and I don't want to create hard because everything is a creation. And it is when we don't know ourselves, and when we do, it literally is magic and miracles. And for whoever's listening in, Gina, I don't want to paint this Pollyanna-ish picture. It really, despite anything that's going on, I had everything going on seemingly my way, wasn't practicing the work. I was in my own creation of hell, right? And then I've been in places where seemingly in the 3D nothing was working out for me, and I had nothing but peace. And that is available when we practice the work. It's a joy to be a human being. For me, just to be alive, it's like pinch yourself. You're a masterpiece, and you get to co-create a masterpiece every single day. And wherever you are, you're literally one thought, one decision away from complete magic and miracles.
Yes. Magic and miracles. One of my
Oh,
other backgrounds, whenever I guest on a podcast, it's like the neon sign behind me, but it says,
yes.
"You are magic."
Oh, you are. Thank you.
It says, yeah,
Thank you.
everyone's magic. You just have to believe in yourself. If you want to believe in something, at least start with yourself. And because, you are not a mistake. You're here for a reason, and we just have to discover that purpose for ourselves. Yay.
Yay,
Yes.
indeed. Oh,
Now you
I,
love
I
talk.
can go on
Oh,
here
I
for
know. We
hours.
can
You're
talk
such a
forever.
contagious energy, girl.
Well, we'll have to stay in touch for sure. And
That
I
is
can
for sure.
recommend people to come check out your programs as well. They're like, okay, what's the next step? I've completed this
Oh,
program. What's the next step?
you are a joy. Anything I can do to be of service, and if it serves you and your podcast, whenever you have more episodes, I've been invited to do episode 2, 3, 4 throughout the years.
Oh,
I'm
that
more than
is cool.
happy to, because there are so many tips I can give about mindset. It's literally transformed not just my life, all the
Right.
lives that I'm humbled to touch as well. So I'm very
Yeah.
passionate about it.
It's your passion. Yes. We could talk about these things forever and ever and ever.
Amen. Amen, girl.
Yeah. And one of your passions is also manifesting and manifestation. That's a word that's people are using a lot. Oh, I'm
Yes.
manifesting abundance. It's already there. It's
Yes.
already
Thank
here
you.
for us. It is. We're
Oh,
manifesting regardless if we believe in the word manifestation or not. We're manifesting. Like for me, for
yes.
example, I manifested my hell when I was drinking because that's what I
Yes.
wanted to create at the time. But
Yes.
then I manifested the light afterward from
Oh,
dark to light. And then
thank
that's what I
God.
want to create now because I don't want that. I've learned for myself,
Yes.
this is not the path that I want. This is
Good
the
for
path
you.
that I need to stay away from that's going to kill me. Literally, literally it's like
Oh,
death or life or death situation for me. I had to make that
oh,
decision. Yeah, it's nuts. I can share that story later on, but
yes.
it was a divine intervention. Let's just say that, the
Oh,
divine intervention, and I really had to do some reflection at the hospital by myself for like a week. No one visited me, just the nurses there, of course, checking in on me, doctors just checking in, but literally me and God, and then my higher self, which is like you can call it the Holy Spirit, you can call it your inner GPS, your inner
yes.
knowing. The name doesn't
Yes.
matter. It's
Yeah, it
that
doesn't.
it's that inner love that you have inside you. That's why my podcast is called Shine Within. But speaking about
Oh,
manifestation,
yes.
can you just walk us through your approach of it and how it's different from just like thinking positive?
Oh, so different. Thank you for asking. And although I love the movie The Secret, I told you one of my mentors was in it. It was missing a very key component. It was like sit there in front of the jewelry shop, hope that you have a husband and he shows up and he buys you that piece of jewelry. I mean, right? And I love your awareness. I'm not surprised at all. Wink, wink. That it's already all here. All there is energy. We are all energy. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. Everything was here. Like you hadn't met your husband yet. He was born. And that's how everything is literally here. And all there is. I love that. And you exude that abundance. All there is abundance. Whoever's listening in, if you're stopped and you don't believe it, just look at God's word. Look at if it's raining where you are, how much it rains and there's an abundance. If it's sunny, look at the sunshine. Just go to a forest and look at all the. That's all there is. Scarcity is man-made, and we only have made it through our thought process because we become what we think about predominantly. And most people come to me to learn how to manifest. That's exactly what I tell them, Gina. You already know how to manifest. You're just have you're manifesting by default, and we want to start manifesting by design, which is what you did. Big congrats. I'm so elated for you and so proud of you. Thank you,
Thank
because we
you.
really do need you, and I'm happy you did it for yourself. You're so welcome. You're such contagious bowl of energy and love. um so the first step is, and I have been on like maybe 100 like podcasts this year. A lot of coaches interviewing me and on their podcast, they haven't created this first step. So whoever's listening into this beautiful woman's brilliant podcast, put pen to paper and write down your vision. So I said the work is backed up by neuroscience and quantum physics. It's also in theology. I don't teach any religion. The most I'm familiar with is Christianity. It says, without a vision, the people perish. And most don't have a vision. Well, if you don't have a vision, I want to get to LA, but my GPS says, it says, excuse me, it says Texas. Well, I'm not going to get to LA. Like that's right. And so that is the most important. And my invitation for any precious soul listening in, Gina, is to literally, the minute you hear this brilliant podcast, take pen to paper. It's 2 pages max. It doesn't have to be long, right? From the time you wake up to the time you want to fall asleep, the perfect day in your life. If I had a magic wand and you could have anything you want, no pressure. I don't have a magic wand. The magic is within you, right? And you get to co-create it, right? Who do you want to wake up next to? Where do you want to wake up? What contributions do you want to make to our mankind? What legacy do you want to leave behind? How do you want to feel? How do you dress? What businesses do you want, or jobs, right? What toys do you want to own? Because being spiritual doesn't mean that we can't have stuff. We own them; they don't own us. Is the big distinction, right? What kind of house do you want to live in? What trips are you taking? And what purpose you want to live? And then write it down, and then to turbocharge that further and to supercharge it further, take the app, and apparently there are so many out now. This is the one I've had. It's called Think Up. I don't know if it's the one you recorded your voice on, and record it. So take the time to first write it out, because that's step number one in manifesting, is knowing what we want. And then write it out, and then ideally you could read it in front of the mirror every day. Mirror work is beyond fantastic. But let's say busy moms listening in, busy dads, or entrepreneurs, they may not feel like they have the time. It may be more pressures. Like, listen to it while you're sleeping, condition yourself while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, if you clean, while you're walking, while you're exercising. Make sure you're the same way we're taking care of our vessel, our physical vessel. We want to program ourselves, because life has already programmed us, and it's constantly and consistently 24/7 programming us. So, for example, when I went to Vegas for a conference in 2017, I came back and gave away my flat screen TV. Since then, I haven't watched the news. But hey, you put IG on, you go on, like, we're constantly bombarded, right? Eat this, don't eat that, take this med, don't take that. Like, we're constantly being told what to do, and most of them are lies, because I didn't hear most of them talk about our divinity and how precious we are. So if they don't say that, it's a lie, basically, to make it easy. And I know you're there with me, right? So that's step number one. And Gina, this is so crucial, because since childhood, all I wanted was to rah the world stages, become this motivational speaker. And when I learned this, what I'm going to share from Bob, I'm like, no, this is the message I want to share. So Zig Ziglar has said motivation is like bathing. Got to do it every day. And because of my bubbly personality, there is a big aspect of motivation in what I do, but it's literally less than 1%. The rest is everything you seem to have embodied, and you're living and you radiate, quite frankly, and I'm getting more goosebumps. And it's teaching people that, and knowing their power, like, not here in their heart of hearts, in their subconscious mind, in their bodies. And it's beyond faith, beyond belief. It's a knowingness, right? That nothing can shake you, basically. And when I learned this from Bob, I'm like, okay, I'll still keep motivating, but this is the message I want to spread to our precious billions. And it's like, step number one, he said, is the only prerequisite to having it all. And I mean, all is knowing what we want. There's a big caveat, which I'll give away. Step number two, it's you don't get what you want, you get who you're being. And that's the missing component, wasn't mentioned in The Secret. And that's self-concept and identity. And whatever we identify with, that's it. That's going to be our ceiling, our thermostat. The good news is we can always alter it. So first step, let's write the vision out. Let's record it. Let's listen to it every single day. That ends with a day, just like we brush our teeth. And then step number two, write the self-image. It's a short paragraph of I am statements of who you truly are, not the lies they've been telling us on our entire lives. And ideally, we can record that. We can chant that in front of the mirror. Mirror work is deep, very deep and powerful. In addition, we can record it on Think Up and listen to our self-image, the new one, every day, and start acting like that person, which is very distinct from what's going around on social media about faking till you make it. We ain't faking anything. You're actually acting as your highest self. That paragraph, and both to be written in the present tense, because the subconscious mind only understands the present tense. And it only learns through repetition, just like how we were kids and we learned how to walk. And none of our parents gave up on us if it took us a few months longer or a year longer, right? And not to give up on ourselves in the same way, be that love to ourselves. Or how we rode a bike when we were 4 or 5, when we're 104, 105, we're going to remember. That's the power of the subconscious. We learn a foreign language when we're 2, we're going to remember it. Even if we don't think we do it, we have supercomputers we have the Google of all Googles, and I keep referring to the one between the two ears. It's the body, it's the subconscious, it's not the brain distinct, but I love the brain emoji. I use a lot on socials. And that's step number two. And the same way we learn how to what did we say? So we want to make all of it the work, the subconscious work I do, Gina, to answer your question more succinctly, is that hey, you drive to your local Taco Bell, or that's down the street, so it's easier. But let's say your local Starbucks, and you get there, you didn't know even how, you didn't even have to think about it. You were on the phone, you were telling the kids that, like asking them for their orders, let's say, and then before you know it, you're there. That is what we do in my mind gym, that turn around the paradigms that you have that aren't working for you, to work for you on autopilot, that you're not now thinking, oh, let me get up and lace up, and what a bore, because I'm used to getting up and having coffees back to back, or a mocha frappuccino on the news. Turn it off. Turn off the mocha frappuccino. No judgment, okay? I live in the biggest glass house. I drank them too. And then let's go inwards. That's where all the magic is. Let's meditate. Let's go into nature. Let's listen to our Think Up app, and watch out. You clean your vibration so much, your outside world is only a reflection of the inside. It has to transform by law. So those are the first two steps. The third one, and then I'll ping pong back to you before I go into the others, is, as I mentioned earlier, we're all one decision away from a completely different life. You took that super uber powerful decision, courageous decision, bold decision not to drink, right? And look at the magic and miracles you've created. That, and what a blessing to share this with our world, to show them what's possible, and for you to experience it, quite frankly, because you deserve the world. And everyone listening, every precious soul, you deserve the world. And Gina, having more doesn't make any less for you, because there's infinite supply. Gina can have gazillions. If there's no gazillions, they're going to print it for us. Believe it. That much infinite supply there is. It'll come out of thin air, and it will come out. And this is backed up by neuroscience. So it's not me being Pollyanna-ish. And then, so step three is make a decision that you're going to go all in. And if we're not 100% in, we're out, right? And repeat these daily steps, and watch out. You will create your life by design. It will be you leading that you'll be the captain. You are the captain.
We
Excuse
are
me.
the captain. Yes.
Yes.
We are. I love that. I need to go on a boat ride sometime. It's, I don't know. I just love my husband and I were at Hawaii not that long ago, and I just love being out on the boat. We're doing whale watching. And it's just that just I feel it right now. Like I'm already there. That breeze, you know. But just imagine us being the captain of that boat and just taking off and enjoying it, like really riding that boat or ship or whatever.
Oh, I love it. And look at it. You got me. My next podcast is in Hawaii, by the way. And I
Oh
love the
my
power of the internet.
goodness.
Look at this. It's like I was in Dallas earlier.
I know, and right, you're from Canada, but you're in
Yes.
Dubai right now, right?
Yes, yes, I was in Dubai. I just flew in. So
Oh
that's this
wow.
is the power of there. But thank you, because Bob would talk about it, that the internet was always here and I wouldn't understand, right? Because everything is created. No, and I didn't, but that's the power. Whoever's listening in, wherever you are in life, you're one thought away. Like that individual had the awareness to bring this to us, and look, we're all in different places able to spread the light. And the Wright brothers, two mechanics, they were bike mechanics, and look at them, they created the kingdom for us to fly. So yeah, I was in Dubai and now I'm not.
That is
And you'll
awesome.
be in Hawaii soon, with the way you're using your powerful
Oh,
imagination, how you felt
yes.
it, you brought me there with you.
How did you know that one of our goals as when we retire is us to live in Hawaii and to have a little farm, a small farm, not a big one, with just chickens and bees and just living just off the
Oh,
grid kind of just
yes,
enjoying
yes,
nature.
yes.
That is our dream, my husband and I, once the children are all set in their lives and then we can just say, okay, come visit us in
Oh,
Hawaii.
I love it, Gina. And if you want to make it any faster, I'm grateful we met. I can literally give you tips on that as well. Like
Oh,
that
nice.
you're doing both, just like I was in Dubai and now I'm not, because I plan to be in different places, and it's happened much faster. So one of the biggest lies we were told about manifestation is that it takes time. It doesn't take time, it takes alignment. And that's the the gap to bridge is between what we want and who we're being, the two steps that I gave in the third step in making a decision to go all in. And you are the captain. You're a fantastic captain. I love it.
It's so interesting too. So I've had goals in my past where I'm thinking, oh, yay, 20 years from now, it's going to happen. But every time I say 10 years, 20 years, it literally happens that same month or within that year. And I'm like, wait, I'm not ready yet. What's going on?
Yes,
This has
you
happened to
are.
me multiple times. Do you have any
I love it.
understanding about it? Because my mind's thinking something, but I guess that maybe the divine is saying no now.
Yes,
And it just
yes,
happens before you know it.
yes. Well, you're literally, I mean, I felt it. I don't tell, obviously, I would only tell it to someone I feel it with. I felt it with the young man right before you in Dallas. You, like, words have power. You think it's just an email. There is no such thing. And I felt your beautiful, I felt his beautiful energy. And I said it to you. I said it to him. I said, you're a fantastic, as are you, by the way. And he's like, no one's called me that fantastic. I'm like, well, you are. You should know. I hope you know it, and I don't need to even tell you, and you know it. So thank God, right? And you are a fantastic host as well. So thank you for having me. Is you basically knew what you wanted. Look at all the steps that I talked about. You put it out there in the universe. The universe is our buffet. You put the timeline. We don't decide that. And you seem to have practiced a lot of non-attachment, right? Known you surrendered. This is what I want, right? And then you were being the individual. So bam, it doesn't take time. You actually just proved what I said. Thank you.
Okay.
So it's all in reverse. We can, and Steve Jobs says that we can only connect the dots looking backwards. So, but it was really this. You had no attachment. You weren't forcing an outcome. You weren't manipulating an outcome. You're crystal clear. Your chakras are clear. You're like ready to receive. But your physical 3D Gina may have thought she's not ready,
Yeah.
and Source showed you that yes, you are. You've done the work. Here it is. You deserve. We deserve everything. You're royalty, as I said. There's royal blood. Why not now? And why not you?
Yes. And I had to learn that. I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna go and do it. Even though I was nervous as heck, I'm like, but I gotta do it because it's presented to me now. It's like a
Thank
quantum leap,
you.
right?
It is, which is the results of all my clients. But there, you just said it. Even though you weren't ready, you actually look at how bold and powerful and faithful you were. You didn't have the ego come in, or your paradigms, or your limiting beliefs, right? Because as much as we work on our limiting beliefs, there's other ones that we're not aware of, like in our subconscious. Kudos, you're a bold, brave, powerful young lady. You did it.
Oh, thank
Oh, that's
you.
such an inspiration, Gina.
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
told you I can talk to you forever.
oh, I love it, same. But it's so inspiring to hear because I teach it, and it's so nice to see others actually living it. That I just said it. It doesn't take time, it takes alignment. You were aligned. And
Yeah.
the most where people struggle is they're not aligned because they're constantly saying, where is it? It's like, you put water to boil, you don't keep checking to see if it's going to boil. You just trust it is, and you literally left it there. You didn't keep checking. Or when we plant seeds, we don't keep opening. If we do keep opening the ground to see if it's there, well, it's going to take longer,
Mhm.
right? You just speak kindly to it. You water it, you sun it, you walk away, you go your path. It comes out. Now with pregnancy, there's a gestational period where for a woman it's different than for an animal, and different animals are different, right? But with plants it's different. But with our manifestations, it's not. It's, hey, are you aligned? It could happen right now. And congrats, you just showed that a 20-year goal, 10-year goal happened that month. My, I'm not surprised. I'm
That's
happy.
that's how I manifested my husband too.
I love
Same.
it.
Oh, the same thing. Yeah. But I was putting it out there on cards and putting it in a box. But I like again, I was thinking, oh, someday, 20 years from now, because I was not wanting to date, right? But it was in my head that sometime in the future I wanted to have a family unit once again. Because I was married before, divorced, and it just didn't work out, obviously, because of behaviors and addictions. But at that moment of, I think it was 2 years into my sobriety, I'm like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to eventually have a partner and a family unit once again. And then, yes, God blessed me with a family unit and a wonderful husband with the same he's a godly man and he loves God. So I was like, perfect. It's amazing how things just work when you're fully aligned with yourself and you know who you are, you know what you want, you have your goals, you have that vision, that visualization,
Yes,
like you said.
yes,
And it
yes.
does start with that vision. Yeah. Oh
Oh,
my gosh. Now, this may be a personal question, but
no, anything.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like too personal or anything.
No,
But what is
no.
for yourself, because we're talking about mindset and everything, what is one of the most powerful mindset shifts that's changed your life forever?
My goodness. Wow, no one's asked me that. So I would say my entire life, like other than, and by the way, I have mindset stuff that I deal with as well, because I've been asked it in reverse, like, well, what do you deal with? I'm like, anything I deal with is mindset. Like I've openly shared, I want to touch the billions. I haven't yet. Well, what is that? It's not strategy, it's mindset, right?
Yeah.
So it's growing into becoming her further, right? To know that that is already done because it is done. I just haven't, right? It would be my entire life is different. Everything about my life, like I live it by design, but the most important part about it is that I teach the work. Like this is not work for me. Like I could be on 20 podcasts in a day. I'm not because there's not that many hours, right? It's my life's work. I pinch myself that I'm living by design since childhood. I wanted to travel the world and speak. This is what I do, you know? So I would say it's that. And the most humbling part about that is okay, I've created my side. Now the biggest part is my vision is to co-create yours. So anyone I get to meet, it could literally be someone I run into at Starbucks, which I did a couple of days ago, and I speak about this. It was 2 hours. I was standing up while drinking my drink and helping this individual, or it would be on coaching calls, on podcasts, on the stage, wherever it is to spread my gift, to spread my joy, and really be the light, because light is the only truth, you know. In a dark room, all there is to switch on the light, and that's the only way to bring light into our world, to keep spreading the love. So does that answer? And if you want me to think more,
Yes.
I can think more.
No, you're answering so beautifully. I just know our audience is going to gain so much value from this conversation. And I
Sweet.
feel in my heart they're going to be a little bit more aware after this episode once they hear it. And then I feel like they're going to start doing the work. This is just what I feel.
Please,
This is what I feel in my heart, for
please,
sure. But speaking of, success stories, and I know you're passionate about your clients, your peak performers, I should call them probably.
yes,
Can you
yes.
share a story that really lit you up where you saw that transformation and you're like, wow, this is why I do what I do.
Yes, yes. Not that I've ever doubted it, because this is all I've wanted. Like my path, been a flight attendant, teacher of English as a second language at university in my 20s, debt collector, mortgage broker, mortgage under, all just to find myself your own, because I had a low self-image that I didn't even know what self-image was. Um, would be one young man, he was calling me. This was when I was doing this for free. So I started January 2020, SuperchaRge with Suzan was born. And then we found out it's COVID in March here. And then that number one Remax Worldwide filled up all my spots during that time. But there have been the originals that have been with me for 8 years now, not 5+ years, 7 and 8 years. They were doing it for free, Gina, with me. I started charging them. They stayed. I upped their investment. They stayed. I upped it again. They stayed. I upped it again. They stayed. And their transformations are beyond magical, because they literally study with me in my mind gym every single day. They're being coached by me like this, how we are on Zoom every day. And it's half an hour fast, but we're working just like we would work on our bodies. You know, you don't say, okay, I went to the gym 10 hours today. I won't go for the month, or go, like, right? Go once a week or once a month and call it a day. You have the biggest asset. So I saw a missing in the market, fantastic coaches that I've been with, but none of them were daily working on the mind. That's how I created the mind gym. And these people, the original person there was my friend, and he says, I'm going to have coffee with you one of those days. I said, no, you're not. And you're not leaving the program. This was for free at the time. So I heard what he wasn't saying. And he was basically, it was becoming too confronting. And it is, as you know, the work works when you work it. And the work requires you to step into her and him. And it was 2 months after that. We're on a call. Before Zoom, we used to be on the phone. It was actually his brilliant idea to go on camera, and it's so much better. But I loathed myself so much, and I didn't know. I just got goosebumps that I didn't even want to be seen on camera. It was like so hard for me. I'm like, okay, okay, we'll do it. We did it. But it was on the phone at the time, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you're 180, you're 180, you're 180. He literally went and got a cap that is embroidered 180 on it. He, within 2 months, had transformed into a complete, like, imagine you've been friends for years. You just see him as this whole new man. He wasn't at all the young man that I had met. And then everybody after him has done a 180. So, Gina, I don't teach a thing about cooking. I just shared earlier. All right. I'm not proud of it anymore. I used to be proud because I get the importance of eating nutritionally, and I attempt to do it. And at home is the most nutritious. We know what's going in, right? So I'm so grateful to hear you're doing that. And for whoever isn't, there's zero judgment. I live in the biggest glass house, right? They're fitter, not just in their minds, but in their bodies. I'm not a personal trainer. They're all moving their bodies because I love, well, when I said I was doing research about you, how you mentioned the word holistic multiple times. I'm like, I'm so like, it's all mind, body, and soul, mind, body, and spirit. It's all one. They are one. We can't separate them, right? And then healthy mind lives in a healthy body, vice versa. So they have more vitality. I don't teach anything about marriage or relationships. They have healthy, juicier marriages. I don't teach about divorce. They're consciously uncoupling, right? I don't teach it. So it's all like, they're creating their lives by design. The gist is time freedom, location freedom, money freedom, which a lot of people want. Now we're creating relationship freedom, purpose freedom. And my favorite, the sixth one, is the freedom to be us without the masks, our authentic selves, without all of the programming as well, and all the lies and what they want us to be.
Yes.
Right. So everyone's done a 180 in different ways. Like, I don't teach a thing about parenthood. I've chosen not to be one. They're my bambinos. And they come to me like in tears, like that they're better dads and moms. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. So no, they're basically GPBs is what I call them. They're generational pattern breakers. They're for the past, because I start the work from the time we're conceived, but they're saying that this, and I'm sure you know more about this, is like generational trauma, right? They're not
Yes.
only breaking the past, now they're creating a brand new future life by design of freedom and ease, our divine birthright. So it's a privilege.
That is amazing. Yes. And for our listeners, can you go ahead and just share where can they connect with you and start working with you?
I must connect with you first, girl. Okay, it's not a race, people. I'm at SuperchaRge with Suzan. That's Suzan for our American USA family members. I know it's Z here, and when I go there, they're like Z. So SuperchaRge with Suzan, Suzan, and superchargewithsusan.com is the website. But IG, what I do on IG is we dive deeper. Any questions they have, on mindset, manifestation, peak performance every Friday. Oh, well, that may be early for LA. Sorry, I may change the time eventually. It's 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Actually, 5:30 may not be early for some.
Oh, it's fine.
So 5:30 PST a.m. Mondays in my private Facebook group. It's all complimentary, especially for Gina's people, but it's complimentary. Okay. Mondays, 5:30 a.m. I've sandwiched it. I answer any and all mindset questions. I do a live in the private Facebook group. And then Fridays, 5:30 a.m. PST on IG. And I do global master classes. We just finished one. I'll tell you more about it after the recording. They're all invited for free whenever we have them. We just don't have a date yet.
Amazing. Well, again, thank you for all you do and just spreading your message and love and light to the world. But last question I always ask all of my guests is, what does it mean to shine within?
I love that. Everything you say, everything you exude and radiate, by the way, is to know yourself with a capital K, and to be it. Really,
Yes.
that's it. It's to know your divinity. You're literally a piece of the divine. Without you, the world doesn't turn in the same way. If you are here, if you're not, didn't make it here, that wasn't, you weren't meant to be here. And if you are here, you were literally, as you beautifully said, Gina, earlier, you were meant to be here. So know that. Like I would go into conferences late thinking I don't matter, right? Sit at the back when back in my naughty year days. And then it's like, no, no, everyone matters. The world needs you. Whoever's listening in, you're precious beyond words and measure. Just if you got nothing out of this, create your vision and your self image, repeat them daily, and then know your divinity. That's all. And then life will be magic and miracles despite all the craziness that's going on in our one world as we speak.
Wow, beautiful, Susan. Well, thank you so much for being on my show. I'm going to have you back
Oh,
on and we can just talk about whatever you want to talk about. We can just giggle the whole
yeah.
episode and it'll still be magic.
You are so magical. God bless you infinitely more. You're just fantastic energy. Thank you so much, Gina. I'm beyond humbled to have met you and to have heard your story and to be on your beautiful show. Privileged to be here now and any time that will serve. Thank you. I'm your servant, the servant
Oh,
of our mankind. Yeah.
well, thank you so much.